Simply select one, two, or three paragraphs. You may select even 5 or 10 paragraphs, but like you need to start selecting paragraphs until you reach a heading like this. You may the same can be done for each paragraph individually like this. Okay, you may format all the paragraphs one by one, or if you want to if you want to make it easier for you, so you may select multiple paragraphs together like this. Okay, and you need to go to the setting, paragraph setting. So you simply need to keep in mind the features of formatting a paragraph. So first of all, a paragraph must be justified. Body text, it must be from left to right. Then before text indentation, it should be 0 before text and after text as well. Special by first line and 0.5 inch. Spacing before the paragraph it should be 6, and after the paragraph it should be 6 again. And the line spacing, it means the space between the lines, that should be 1.5. These two boxes must be unchecked. Click OK, and this is how you need to format your paragraph. Okay, sometimes it happens that you know sometimes it is none instead of first line, or there is a problem with this line spacing. It is either single or double, or most of the time it is multiple. So all these features are incorrect. Okay, you need to format your article according to these features. It must be first. Okay, it must be 1.5, and they must be 6 in 6, 0 in 0. Now, what is meant by this point, special by first line? If you click none, then as you can see, all the paragraphs, they start with the very initial point of the line. On the other hand, if you make them special by the first line, and that indentation is 0.5 inch, just like this. This is indentation. Okay, how do you indent? Indent means like to move the text towards the right side. That is what we call indentation. And to the right side when the text starts from the left side, left to right. So as you can see now, it's it has been indented towards the right side by 0.5 inch. Same is the case with all these paragraphs. So this is about paragraph setting. Now moving to the headings and subheadings. As you can see, let me show you the rules again. Here are the rules for formatting your research article. So chapter headings, the size should be, font size should be 16, and they must be bold. Okay, then second headings, like the major headings inside a chapter. So the second headings, they're called second headings, their font size should be 14 and they must be bold. Again, then the subheadings, which are called the third headings, their font size should be 12, and again they must also be bold. Let's get back to the sample right here. As you can see, this is chapter number 1. So its font size is 16. Okay, the text size, keep in mind, this is what I forgot earlier, the text size, it must be 12. Text size must be 12. Now this is the major heading of this chapter, not the chapter heading, rather but the second heading inside a chapter. So its font size should be 14 and it must be bold. Now when you write something here, for example, paragraph 1, Paragraph 2, if you want to give a subheading here, usually people do it in literature review or in the methodology chapter particularly, or in the analysis chapter as well, rather in all the chapters you may say. So let's suppose if this is my methodology chapter and I want to write research methodology, then inside a research methodology I want to give the heading subjects and participants, for example. So this is the major heading, okay, of the major heading of the chapter. Chapter 3 is research methodology, so it should be 3.1, or if 3.1 is our research design, so then it must be 3.2. Its font size should be 14, as you can see here, and it must be bold. Okay, so this is the major heading of the chapter. Then this is the subheading, the third heading. So its font size, as you can see, it is 12, and it is also bold, and it should be 3.2.1, because it is inside this heading we have got this one. Okay, so its font size should be 12, and again it must be bold. Now if there are further subheadings in your research article, for example, then those headings, for example, if you want to write students 3.2.1.1 students, so its font size should be 12, but it must not be bold. Okay, so this is how you need to format the headings and subheadings of your article. Chapter headings, font size 16, bold. Then the second heading of your research article in any of the chapters, its font size should be 14 and it must be bold. Then the subheading, the third headings, font size should be 12 and they must be bold. And if there are further subheadings, then the font size should be 12 and they must be unbold. So this is how you need to format your the headings and subheadings of your research article. Now moving to the last point, references. So there are two kinds of references: bibliographical references and in-text citations. In-text citations means citations inside the text. Okay, let's suppose human communication is a process of, till here we have this particular utterance, this particular sentence. Now if I want to give in a citation here, let's suppose if I want to show that this sentence, for example, has been taken from a research paper written by Noam Chomsky, okay, or by for example Khushnut Arshad. So what I need to write here, the last name only, Arshad, comma, and the year of the publication of the research article, thesis, or the year of the publication of the book. For example, 2015. So the most frequently occurring mistake, which I have seen in the research papers of the students, they put this, period, this dot before the in-text citation right here, which is, keep in mind, erroneous. Okay, this is erroneous. So you need to, you need not to put a period here, rather put it here at the end of the sentence. Like this in-text citation, it is a part of the sentence, fine. So it must be, the period must also be put after, at the very final position of the sentence. Now this is at the end of the sentence, Arshad 2015. It can be right here in the beginning of the sentence. For example, uh, according to Arshad, then the date must be inside the parentheses, but the name of the scholar, the name of the researcher, the name of the author, book author or research paper author or magazine article author, it can be the author of any academic writing, a piece of writing. So it must be outside the parentheses, while the date only be inside the parentheses. So this is how we put it, being the part of the sentence. And the second example which I showed you earlier, it is at the end of the utterance. When we say something and at the end we want to provide a reference that this idea has been taken from the research paper or the book of Mr. or Mrs. So and so, so we put it at the end of the utterance, just as I did here. Okay, Arshad, inside parentheses, the name of the scholar, author, as well as the date. Both of them must be inside the parentheses, but we write the name here first, then comma, and then the date, like 2015, for example. And if it is a part of the sentence, like here, so then only the date must be put inside the parentheses. Now, one more point. If you want to quote the exact words of an author, so the words must be put inside the quotation marks. They must be enclosed in inverted commas. Right here, if you can see, the quotation starts from here and it ends here. Okay, so quotation marks open and quotation marks end. When you quote the exact words of an author, you need to provide the page number as well, like the page number, the number of the page on which this particular quotation is mentioned in the book, in the research paper, in the magazine, or whatever. So, like any kind of academic writing. So when you want to put these inverted commas because you want to quote the exact words of an author, then you need to put a comma after the after the year of publication, and you need to write p stands for page number, p dot space, and then the page number. For example, if I have taken these words from the page number 12 of the research paper written by Khusnud Arshad, so I'll write p dot space 12. Okay, uh, you may write the page number here as well. Like, let's suppose if you have already started uh, writing things which are proposed by or written by Khusnud Arshad in his research paper. So if you're writing his ideas, for example, in your own words, and you want to quote something, some exact words from his research paper right here, like all these are the ideas, for example, you have been taking from him. So let's suppose if you want to quote this idea from his research paper right here till this point, yes. So here you may provide the entire reference, like you may say Khushnut, so Arshad, because you have to mention the last name of the author only, Arshad 2015, comma, page 12, parenthesis close, or you may simply write P12, page 12, because you have already given, let me put inverted commas. Where does it start? Okay, it starts from here. Fine, I have already put inverted commas. So, because you have already mentioned the name of the author right here, and in all these sentences you have been talking about the ideas taken from Khusnud Arshad, so then you may need not to mention the name again here, name of the author. Rather, you may simply give the page number here by mentioning p dot and then the page number. So this is how you need to format your in-text citations. Again, there are certain rules for and certain technicalities in in-text citations, because we have got in-text citation for a single author a document, for multiple authors, for two authors, for three authors, four authors. I'm sharing a research paper with you along with this video tutorial. From there you will see how to format the various kinds of in-text citations. Moving to the bibliographical references. So personally I suggest you to format your bibliographical references using the computer system. Like, do not do those references manually, do not format them manually. Rather, you have got an option here in the Microsoft Office software. MSR, you have to come to references. If you can see this point, references, okay. Inside the references, first of all, you need to select the format. We have got so many formats here, like we have got Chicago. Here we have got MLA is used for social sciences, research papers in the social sciences. uh, Multiple these kind of formats are there. Some of them are like IEA. This kind of format is used by the scholars of computer sciences. Chicago is manually used by the students of scholars of medical sciences. We follow APA 6 edition. So you need to select APA, then you need to check your sources, manage sources. So here I have already got two sources for two research papers. If you have got any source here already for which you have inserted from some other research paper or some other assignment or academic work, you need to delete them, all of them. Okay, you need to make to empty this list. If they belong to your current research study, then they must be here and you need to add more. So let these two be here, these two references. How can you insert a new reference, add new source? This table will open. You need to select your source here first of all, whether you want to cite a book section, journal article in periodical, conference proceeding, report, report, website, document from website. Usually our students, they most of the time make the use of these three: book, journal article, and document from website, or sometimes they quote website as well. So let's suppose if I want to go for a journal article, you need to mention the name of the author here. For example, name of the author is Khushnood Urshid. If there are any if there is any co-author, so you may write the name of the co-author as well. Then title of the research paper, or title of title of the research paper, name of journal, because on the top of every research paper, the name of the research journal is mentioned. The city of publication, year of publication, month and day if available there. Then the pages which you have taken. Let's suppose on the top of almost all the research papers, the page numbers have been given. Page number means like a research journal consists of so many research papers. So you need to mention the page numbers of the concerned research paper which you have cited, which you have quoted in your own research paper. If there are editors or publishers, volume, issue, these things, usually editor, publishers, these things are all are also given there. But volume and issue, they are they are a must, simply you may say. Sometimes there are standard numbers given. You may write those standard numbers as well. Year accessed, when did you access that research article, the year, the month, and the day. And if that research paper is available online, so you should also copy the URL, the link of that research paper, and you need to paste it here. At the end, you need to click on OK. One more thing, let's suppose if there are multiple authors, so you need to click edit. Last name, for example, we have got Ibrahim Khalil, BS8. So the last name we have got Khalil, first name Ibrahim, and middle name if available. Edit. If you want, if there is a research paper written by three scholars, so you need to write the name of the third scholar as well. Again, you will write the last name here and the first name here, and you need to click add. Okay, if there is a research paper written by 4 or 5 scholars, so you need to mention the names of, insert the names of all those scholars using this very same procedure. So this is how you need to insert a bibliographical reference. Now, That is one. Another bibliographical reference, so you need to go for another source, a new source, a research that can be a research journal. If you want to cite a book or a conference proceeding or an article, a document from website, so again mention the name of the document, then name of the web page, name of the website. Like website is that is a broader thing. There is a single website which may contain hundreds of pages. Okay, so let's suppose we have got Spark Notes, for example, or we have got the website of Vendyke. So here you may write the name of the website, like we have got Spark Notes, we have got um, shamook.com, or Wikipedia. Inside Wikipedia we have got thousands and hundreds and thousands of pages. Here you need to write the name of that particular web page, then year, month, day, URL. That is a must for online documents. Okay, uh, all these, you need to fill in all these boxes. At the end you need to click OK. Now when you are done with inserting all the sources from which you have taken data, from which you have taken various codes, or which you have coded in your research article. So at the end what you need to do, you simply need to come to the last page of your research article right here, and write references here, format the font size 16, bold, and then come here. Under this heading, you need to provide the list of all bibliographical references. So how can you do that? Click on references, bibliography, and insert bibliography. When you click on this, all in the entire list of the research papers which you have quoted in your research work, you will find that list here. Like just as we see at the end of every research paper, so you will have the bibliographical references of your research paper right here. So this is how you need to format your research article, but the references of your research article. Apart from MS Word, you may use a website for formatting your bibliographical references. That is there is a website which is used by most of the scholars. Cite this for me. This is a website for formatting your research papers, references of your research paper. So we have got all the formats here. We have got MLA, Harvard, APA. Nowadays we have APA 7 available, but you need to select APA 6. So you need to come here to click on this point, on this link, select your style, that is APA 6 edition, then add new reference. When you click on this, select the source which you want to quote, like that can be website, that can be journal article, that can be book, or you may click on more, because there can be ebook, there can be as I told you, uh, dissertation, research thesis. If you want to quote but to provide a bibliographical reference for the research thesis, the dissertation of a particular scholar, magazine, journal article, interview, email, edited book, like multiple sources are there. If you want to quote, provide a reference for a software, because some students, some scholars, they use softwares for their analysis, like for statistical analysis or for phonological analysis, they may use the prod software. For corpus linguistics, they may use some other corpus software. So website, if you want to provide a reference for a website or for newspaper, so these are the various sources. You need to select a source. For example, if I select a journal, Here you need to click cite, manually cite, names of authors, year of publication, article title, name of the journal, volume number, issue number, pages used. If that is an online journal, so you need to provide the DOI number, the database, the URL. When did you access that? So you need to provide the date, year, and month as well. When you click on this complete citation, at the end, when you are done with inserting all your providing references for all your sources which you have quoted data from, at the end you will have a list, and there will be an option given copy. So you need to click copy, and you need to come here to Microsoft Office, and you need to paste it here. So it will be pasted here in your the list of your bibliographical references. We are left with one last point which we were supposed to discuss at the beginning, but still, the layout of your research paper, the layout. So margins, you need to come to the margins, select custom margins. On the top of the page, it should be 1 inch, bottom 1 inch, right side 1 inch, but left side 1.5. You may increase or decrease the values by clicking on these arrows. Okay, so on the left side it should be 1.5. Click OK. So this is how you need to format the layout. Apart from this, you need to select the page size as well. So the size should be letter. Okay, that is 8.5 inches across 11 inches. So this is the size of the page which you need to print your research thesis on. So the page size, it should be letter, and orientation, it must be portrait. Okay, if there are some graphics or some pictures and charts which you want to insert in your research paper, and that cannot be inserted using this option, the portrait, particularly in the appendix section at the end of your research paper. So for that, then you may select the landscape, but keep in mind, for that you need to select to start a new session, a new portion, like you need to click this option, next page. Okay, so that part should be portrait then, and this option, like the previous section, it should be portrait. Okay, the last portion, it can be a landscape. So these are all the technicalities involved in formatting your research paper. Again, coming to the conclusion, like summarizing your entire discussion. Yes, for page formatting, page layout, let me do that again, because the internet file that was shared with that was shared on the screen. Layout, how to format the layout: page margins, custom margins, 1 1 1. Only on the left side it should be 1.5. Okay, then page size, it should be letter. Orientation, it should be portrait. If you need to go for landscape at the end of your research paper, then you may select this one. So this is how you need to format your research article. Thank you so much.